Welcome to my real estate dojo with Mr. Investor. My name is Mike Gang, as you already know, and today's session is about how to give an offer to a motivated seller correctly so you could get the deal. At this point, I'm going to be talking about and zooming in about, you walk in the seller's house, you look at the property, you build the report, and now you sit right next to him and you're going to go through the numbers and give him an offer. And the way to give an offer is we always use the superhero closing offer. Watch my video on the superhero closing. But this point that I'm going to explain to you is about the techniques you need to do to actually give the offer. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started, gang. Alright, before you give the seller an offer on the property, the first thing you want to do is you want to tell the seller that you really want to buy their home and that you're very confident that you're able to create a win-win situation. So the number one thing you want to tell the seller is you really want to buy their home, you're very confident you create a win-win situation and make this deal work as long as they're motivated to sell because you're motivated to buy. The number two thing you want to tell the seller is you want to help the seller remember two things: A, why, and what. The what is their problem? You want to help them bring to their attention what is their problem. Why did they call you in the first place? Are they motivated because they have a divorce? Are they motivated because they lost their job? Are they motivated because they got a job relocation? Are they behind on payments? What is their what? What is their pain? Okay, so you want to know, bring it up to their mind what their pain is, and that's why they called you. And B, you want to remind the seller of the why. And the why is, what is the consequence of point A? For example, I'm behind on payments, but if I don't take action, I'm going to have a foreclosure on my record. My credit is going to be bad for 10 years, or etc. So the point number two was that you want to remind the seller, once again, the what and the why. What is their problem and why they have to take some action because of the consequences they're going to face if they don't take this action. That's why they actually called you through your marketing piece. Okay? The number three thing you want to do is that you want to, before you get into the offer and give your offer, you want to magnetize the seller for him to become positive. And what I mean by that, as humans, we have so much information overload every day, is that the first thing that comes to our mind is no. So when we have something that somebody asks us or something that comes into our mind, the first thing is we want to close it or we want to say no. Excuse me. So what you want to do is magnetize the seller from the no state, the negative state, into the positive state. And the way to do that is by asking the seller a series of yes questions, things that the seller wants. For example, hey Mr. Seller Joe, do you want to sell your house very quickly? If that's what he wanted, when I ask the probing questions, that's the questions I'm going to ask him. Hey Mr. Seller, do you want me to pay for your closing? See what I'm saying, where I'm going with that? So what I want you to do is, on stage number three, polarize the seller in a positive sense and ask him a series of yes questions. That's something that he wants. Not something that you want, but something that he wants. Do you want me to give you a free move? Do you want me to pay for your closing costs? Do you want to close fast? And the things that I'm going to give him, those positive things that I want, is things that I've already known through my seller questionnaire form, my walkthrough of his house, my hours of phone report building over the phone. So when I give him these positive things, I know he's going to want that. It's not something that I think he's going to know because I already know the seller. I'm already friends with the seller. So I'm pulling out candy that he wants. He wants this, okay? And I'm going to polarize him and get him to say yes before I give him the offer. All right? So let's recap real quick. Number one, you want to tell him you want to buy the property. You're very confident you're going to create a win-win situation. Number 2, you want to remind the seller why he called you and what his problem is. Number 3, you want to polarize the seller for him to become positive instead of negative. And then number 4, you want to give the seller your superhero offer that has all his options, all the seller's options on the moons and the star. So the offer that at the dojo we give the seller is not really a sales pitch, because we care about our sellers. We want to solve their problem. We actually educate the seller and give him all his options, and we ask the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, here's your option number 1, option number 2, option number 3, option number 4. Which one of these do you lean against? Which one of these do you like better? And he's going to tell you, and that's the one that you're going to use to help him and help you. And that's why I call it as a win-win situation. So in a nutshell, to zoom in and give an offer to a seller, there is a ritual that you have to do before you go and ask for the dance. And the ritual comes with, number 1, giving the seller confidence that you really want to do the deal. Number 2 is to remind the seller that, hey, this is why you call me and this is what your problem is. Number 3, to hypnotize him and polarize him, to help him realize the positivity of why he wants our services. And then 4 is to give him the superhero closing, which includes all the offers under the moons and the stars that he has, and you ask him which one does he lean towards. Hey gang, this is Mike with My Real Estate Investor. Go out there and make it happen to yourself. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to anybody that tells you can't do it. It's just them. It's not your reality. This is America. This is the land of the great country. You can go from rags to riches if you're willing to hustle, if you're willing to bustle, if you're willing to educate yourself, if you're hungry. So go out there and make it happen for yourself. Talk to you later, gang.
Real quick, download my free book, Real Estate Investing for Beginners, the ultimate starter guide at myrealestatedojo.com, where I teach you how to find motivated sellers, buy their homes at a deep discount, and then have the seller become your own private bank. Subject to, get it now. One more thing, if you're looking for private one-on-one help when it comes to real estate investing, then consider joining my academy, where you sit down with me one-on-one. 2, you get monthly coaching. 3, you get access to my best-selling courses. 4, you get access to my video library, and then the list goes on, for just $97 a month. Join me now at MrNoFluff.com. Lastly, the best 6-figure side hustle, bicycle flipping. Want to see how? Here's a behind-the-scene video how I did it. Go to thebestsidehustle.mrnofluff.com. Now let's get back to the content.